Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 Triad Commencement Ceremony. Graduates in the Cardinal community, please remain standing for the national anthem and a pre-recorded performance under the direction of Mr. Noah Floyd.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Todd Schneider, principal of Triad High School. On behalf of the Triad Board of Education, Superintendent Vicki Hoffman, and the faculty and staff of Triad Local Schools, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the 68th commencement of Triad High School. I would like to publicly thank the commencement committee, our custodial crew, Mr. Patrick Johnson, Ms. Casey Moore, and Ms. Cheryl Coleman for helping plan today and making this a first-class event. As well as I would like to thank our class officers for helping to plan and organize the ceremony as well. Graduates, today marks your final act as a student of Triad Local Schools. Very soon you will receive your diploma and be considered an alumnus of Triad. You will be joining the more than 4,000 individuals that have received the Triad diploma since its founding when the schools of Cable, North Lewisburg, and Woodstock combined. At this time, I ask all Triad alumni, as well as current and former faculty and staff of Triad, to please rise for a round of applause. Thank you. Graduates, today is not only a milestone for you, but it is also a day of celebration for all of Triad, the family and the friends in attendance, as well as anybody that identifies as part of the Cardinal community. At this time, under the direction of Mr. John Sheritz, the band will perform Best Moment of the Day. At this time, I ask that Ms. Ashton Falber come up and give the first student address.
Good afternoon, family, friends, administration, staff, and my fellow graduates. I'll keep this short for everyone, much like my attention span throughout high school. If you know me, you won't be surprised when I tell you that I wrote this speech 3 days ago, sitting at Callie's grandma's kitchen table. But this day isn't just about me, it is about us, the class of 2023. In 2019, we stepped foot in the halls of Triad High School. We were asked what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives. To this day, my answer is the same. I have no idea. This is not surprising, as our brains will not stop developing until our mid-20s. So graduates, embrace the unknown. Since kindergarten, we've been told today will mark the first day of the rest of our lives. This rest of our lives they talk about will not be determined by the amount of figures you make a year, although 6 sounds pretty good to me, but by the way you present yourself to the world. So my advice to you, approach the future with kindness, dignity, and bravery. So now I leave you, the class of 2023, with a quote from a famous lyrical poet of the 21st century. As Post Malone once said, congratulations.
Thank you, Ashton, for that wonderful speech. Up next will be Ms. Casey Moore and Patrick Johnson to give out student accomplishments.
Hello, friends. Hello, families. I am Casey Moore, school counselor at Triad High School.
And I am Patrick Johnson, Director of Academic Programs. Mrs. Moore and I have the distinct honor to discuss all of the great accomplishments of the class of 2023.
It doesn't seem like that long ago that Mr. J and I started meeting with this class as 8th graders, helping them plan their high school paths. It gives me joy to brag about the great accomplishments of this small but mighty group of seniors. One of the unique challenges faced by this class is the new Ohio graduation requirements for the class of 2023 and beyond. Each graduate in this class is required to earn, at minimum, 2 of the 12 graduation seals created by the state. I am proud to say that this class has earned a total of 287 graduation seals, with an average of 4 seals per graduate.
The class of 2023 is also the first class to have the option to earn graduation cords for completion of any of the 8 newly created Triad academic pathways. Graduates wearing cords today, please rise. The academic pathways these students completed include Allied Health, Business and Administration, College Prep, Design and Development, Ohio High Point Completion, Precision Agriculture, Visual and Performing Arts, and World Languages. Academic pathways help provide for students a pathway for their high school career, as well as help prepare them for paths in life. Collectively, the class of 2023 has completed 67 academic pathways. Congratulations, graduates. You may be seated.
Many students in the class of 2023 have taken advantage of the College Credit Plus program. Students, if you have completed a CCP course during high school, please stand. This group of young men and women had the opportunity to earn college credit while working toward their high school diploma. These students have taken about 86 college courses, earning approximately 213 college credits as a collective group. This equates to an approximate cost savings of $35,770. Congratulations, students. You may now be seated.
Not only has the class of 2023 challenged themselves in the classroom, but they've also challenged themselves as being part of the workforce, especially during their senior year. If you have been employed at any point during your senior year, graduates, please rise. Combined, the class of 2023 has worked 13,658 hours during their senior year with an approximate earnings of $163,896. Please give these students a round of applause. Graduates, you may be seated. Remember to be financially responsible in life. Be smart with credit cards and save, save, save as often as you can.
And graduates, if you ever get to that point where you feel like you have way too much money, please consider helping your school counselor to retire just a little bit early. Students that have chosen to further their education through college or trade have also earned a total of $138,000 in local and college scholarships as grants through financial aid. Students, as you have earned a scholarship or aid to support continuing your education, please rise. Congratulations, students, and congratulations, families. You may be seated.
Of this group of seniors, 52% of this class plan to continue on with enrollment and further their education after high school. 45% plan to follow a path of employment or apprenticeships, and 3% have chosen to enlist in the U.S. military. Graduates, whatever decision you are going to make after today, we know you will continue to be excellent. It truly has been a blessing to be a part of your lives these last 4 years, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Graduates, I will miss each and every one of you. Never be a stranger. I will always be there to listen and support and guide. Go out in the world with confidence. The ball is now in your court as you continue into the future.
Every year, the teachers of Triad High School nominate and then vote for the most improved senior. This award is given to a senior that has improved or matured in some aspect of their high schooling during their time at Triad. We had several great candidates. All of them improved tremendously. The senior with the greatest amount of votes from staff received this award. Here are some comments from staff. He arrived at Triad with a lack of self-confidence in his academic ability and an unwillingness to communicate. However, he persevered, achieved success, and set goals for the future. Of all the many great things about this student, I think his work ethic improved the most during his high school career. It was an honor to have worked with him and helped him achieve his goals. This student has made a great turnaround over the past 4 years. He went from a very shy young man to somebody who is active in a school setting and surroundings. This student has made significant strides to be successful. At one point, post-graduation plans did not seem possible for this student, but he stands here today ready to enter the workforce. The staff of Triad High School has selected Mr. Brennan Rogers as the 2003 Most Improved Senior. Please come forward, Brennan. At this time, it is an honor of mine to recognize the members of this graduating class who are going to join the military. As a people in a country, we often forget the sacrifices that our great men and women in uniform have made to allow us the great freedoms that we have and to live in what is truly the greatest nation in the world. The graduating class of 2023 would like to recognize this year's seniors who are entering the armed services. When I call your name, please stand along with your parents. Bryce Downey, joining the Army. Alexander Spain, joining the Army National Guard. Gentlemen, thank you for your commitment to our great nation and all the freedoms that we hold dear. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, at this time, I will turn the floor over to Mr. Cole Porter, who will give the second student address of the day. The name of his speech is called End of the Road. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cole Porter.
These past 12 years, whether you've been here for all of them or just a few, have definitely been something. We never knew the people we were going to meet, who we would become, or the memories we would make, but it all ended up here at Triad. Everything that we have went through has changed and formed us into the people we are today, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Many of us have had the same couple of teachers and same friends all throughout high school or even middle school and elementary. These connections helped us grow into who we are and are why a lot of us even made it through school in the first place. For the teachers, I personally have to thank Mr. Rose for being one of the funniest and overall amazing teachers I've ever had. They'll never forget the pain we all went through with sig figs in chemistry, even if I've forgotten them already. I hope you have a good time at High Point. Misi, because she has been with us for 3 years and tried her best and succeeded to make your classes enjoyable, fun, and overall great for learning or attempting to learn Spanish along the way. Gracias por todo, Misi. And finally, Mr. Sherritts for pushing me through to the very end in band and to try new things along the way. I hope you have a good, long retirement, you old man. And Noah, I wish you the luck for many years to come as a new band director. I would also like to thank all of my friends and family for being with me and along the way too. Plus, both of which got me my favorite memories out of high school, like annoying Miss Fogg with that stupid Beach Boys parody of apple-bottom jeans for like 2 months straight in AP English. I can't believe how long you put up with that, but I guess you got your revenge after you got that new mechanical keyboard. I don't regret taking any of your guys' classes, but I do regret not doing more CCP. Before I end this, I would also like to take a moment and remember those who we lost on the way. Our 3 classmates, Lauren McManaway, Bethany Thompson, and Brian Tate, were amazing people who were friends to so many of us, and I can't emphasize enough how much all 3 of them ended up shaping us. They will never be forgotten and will always be in our hearts. I think I can speak for all of us by saying we wish they were here today. A lot of us are sitting here today waiting for this to be over because we all want it to be our last summer. But in reality, this is the last thing we will be doing as Triad students. That isn't to say that a lot of us won't be back in the future, whether it's as alumni, parents, or even a teacher. But no matter what, it'll be different. After today, we all start a new chapter in our lives. Some of us may go into the military, while others will go into college or the workforce. But either way, this is the end of our story as Triad students. The next chapter begins as soon as we leave here today. Congratulations to everyone for getting here to this point, and I hope all of you are successful in the future, no matter what you end up doing.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. I will now ask Superintendent Hoffman to come to the podium to recognize our 2023 honor students.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Well, welcome everyone and congratulations to the class of 2023. I get the honor of announcing people who have maintained a GPA of 3.0 to 3.49 for graduating periods each year during the 4-year career at Triad High School. As I read your names of each graduate in the category, I would like for them to stand, and I would like for their parents to stand as well. Please remain standing until the students in the group have been recognized. Please hold your applause until all students and their parents have been recognized. Cadence Fiesel. Thomas Ford. Tyler Gross. Reed Lytle. Jacob Lowe. Abigail McCreary. And Tyler Perry. You can now give them a round of applause. You may be seated. These following students have maintained a GPA of 3.5 to 4.0 for each grading period of the year, each year during the 4-year career at Triad High School. As I read the names of each graduate, we're going to do the same thing. They can stand, and also their parents, and please hold your applause to the end. Cameron Allison. Ashton Fauber. Caleb Hostetler. Drew Enstein. Megan McManaway. Cole Porter. And Kyle Walburn. Let's give them a round of applause. You may be seated. The next group of students that I get to announce are the top 10% of this graduating class. As I read your names, please come forward to the podium as you're going to be recognized, and just face everyone out there. Please hold your applause until we get everyone up here. Cole Porter. Ashton Fauber. Caleb Hostetler. Cameron Allison. Megan McManaway. Drew Enstein. And Tyler Gross. Let's give them all a round of applause. I'm going to have them all kind of stay here for 1 second as we do 2 more people. We're going to first give an award of special recognition for those students who rank number 1 and 2 on GPA. The salutatorian for the Triad High School is Ashton Fauber. And the valedictorian for Triad High School class of 2023 is Cole Porter. Congratulations to each of these students. You may now be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker provided by the staff address this year, Mr. Doug Miller, affectionately known by many as the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you for that. Good afternoon. Got a good day here, not too hot. But I'm honored and so touched to have been chosen by the senior class of 2023 to speak to all of you today. I've been fortunate to watch all of you graduates progress through the grades to get to this big day. And in fact, I even watched some of your parents do the same thing. So what an exciting time for all of you, and congratulations on this big achievement. As Cole Porter mentioned, many of you will now be headed off to school, military service, the workplace, or be a homemaker and raise a family. Hopefully you'll build a great life for yourself and land that dream job of yours at some point. Hopefully, you will be as lucky as I have been. Now, I was told I was chosen to speak today because I've been here at Triad for a long time. Well, that's true. I've seen a lot of changes happen at this school district since 1982, like the big renovation and the new high school built around 2000, and now for this spectacular track facility that we're in today. Imagine, Mr. Music, had we had this when we were coaching together. I thought I'd share with you some of my thoughts on the value and dignity of work, since a lot of you guys, that's where you're going to be headed. And taking pride in what you do, no matter what that job, it can lead you to advance in that job or open opportunities to a better job. I've always believed that work defines us and shapes who we are. Many of you seniors already know about work with your part-time jobs after school and working weekends and summers. Every job has value. I've never felt any job was beneath me, and neither should you. And I have worked a lot of jobs. Now, some of you seniors have a pretty good plan in place where you're going to go in life, but like Ashton Faber, I was just like her. I had no idea what I was going to be, doing with my life after high school. But let me tell you a little story of how my dream job found me. Now, I'm the oldest of 7 kids. I've got 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Now, my dad worked in various factories, and Mom stayed home to raise us kids. I owe a lot of my work ethic to my mom and dad. We always had clean clothes, had plenty to eat, always got to visit my many aunts and uncles, who also happened to have very large families of their own. I'll tell you what, the way us families would move around to visit each other resembled troop movements back in the day. The family reunions were huge. Now, my dad, Orville, passed away back in 2000, but my mom, Catherine, is here. She's up there today. She's going to be 90 this July. So I love you, Mom. Even as a little kid, I was always trying to earn a few bucks. Never really mattered to me what that job was. Work allowed me to earn a little bit of money to get those things that were important to me at that time. And through work, I learned a little bit about how to communicate with people, be responsible, considerate, and respectful. To be that person someone can depend on to do a good job. Whatever that job was, I did it to the best of my ability. Now, I've got twin brothers a year younger than me, Tim and Tom, and we hung out together quite a bit if we weren't already hanging out with our friends. We sometimes teamed up to earn a bit of money to buy pop candy or some cool toy. We'd walk all around West Mansfield with our little wagon to collect glass pop bottles that seemed to be scattered everywhere. And we'd take them to Mr. Huffman's gas station, where we'd get like a nickel or a dime for each bottle, and we'd blow it all on the goodies he had, because he had the best candy collection in town. As we got a little older, my brothers and I began building our lawn mowing empire, and we had a pretty good business going. We also delivered newspapers, babysat neighbor kids, walked dogs, shoveled snow, bagged groceries. We did whatever. And it just so happened we lived next door to a John Deere implement business. So it wasn't long before the local farmers used us Miller boys to bale hay or do other chores around the farm. And I think word got around that we were pretty hard workers because we stayed pretty busy. We were earning what seemed to us some pretty good coin at the time, and work was getting some of us, well, the things that we wanted. Now, Dad had a side business at one point where he sold and worked on appliances. So Tim, Tom, and I were sometimes pressed into service to help our dad with it. And it was at this juncture where I acquired certain skills in wiring and plumbing and mechanical repair, which became quite useful in my future jobs. And on a side note here, I gotta give props to my dad, because in order for me to get my driver's license back in high school, I had to learn how to drive his '67 GMC pickup truck with that manual column shift transmission. This allowed me to get my most favorite job I ever had back in 1971. Dad worked at Rockwell and Bell Fountain at that time as an inspector, and many of the office staff brought their sons in that summer to do odd jobs all over the plants and to earn money for college. Well, Big Ori Payne took a medical leave for about 6 weeks, and he drove the parts truck for Rockwell. I got to take that job over for him, as I was the only one of those guys who knew how to drive a stick shift. So I had to put a pad on the driver's seat as he worked a goodly sized depression into it, and my 140-pound frame at that time nearly got swallowed up in that seat. But I got to drive that truck all over the place, and I had a blast. Anyway, never at any point in my younger years did I ever consider going to college. I never knew of any of my relatives that did, though there may have been a few. Now, my future plans going into the summer of 1970 was to either go into the military service or land a factory job to begin amassing my fortune. But in the summer of 1970, my view began to change when my buddy and I were selected by West Mansfield's local American Legion chapter to go to Boys State. Boys State was held in Athens that year on the Ohio University campus. Boys State was a week-long experience in the world of local politics. You could run for various county or city positions like judge, mayor, etc. Well, I ran for county auditor, where I lost in a tight race. However, I became a member of the Highway Patrol, where me and my fellow patrolmen would chase lawbreakers all over the West Green, write them out a ticket, and haul them into court for their just deserts. Still, this was my first experience at being on a college campus, and it intrigued me to the point where I decided to submit several applications to universities and colleges that fall. I really didn't know what I might major in, but Mrs. Lynn, my high school counselor, thought I'd make an excellent elementary teacher. I got to admit, I didn't see that coming, and I thought to myself on the way out of her office, no way. But as it turned out, I got a few acceptance letters, but OU offered me the best financial package and a job. But the clincher to attend OU, though, was the letter I got from the marching band asking me to try out and become a member. Marching band was the one activity that I loved most while in high school, so I went to OU, made the block as a trombone player, and majored in history. And the years I spent in that band were probably the best years of my life. I got to travel all over the place, made many lifelong friends, and I still go down there most every homecoming to march in the parade and toot my horn, hang out with my band buddies. And by the way, shout out to Mr. Music and that awesome Triad band over there. I notice there's a few old timers in there today. Anyway, I realized during my sophomore year that being a history major wasn't for me. So I got to thinking about what Miss Lynn said to me and switched my major to elementary education, and here I am. Seems she was quite prescient. Now, I worked a variety of jobs all during my college years to help pay for my schooling. Jobs like researching catalog numbers for periodicals at Alden Library. What a snoozer that job was. I also cleaned restrooms, South Green cafeteria, remodeled apartments to reduce my rent, and in the summer I still baled hay, painted barns, cleaned out sheep stalls, whatever I could find. I had to take a year-long break after my junior year to earn money to finish school, and I landed a pretty good job as a mill operator at H.K. Porter and Bell Fountain. I almost did not go back to school as I was doing pretty good financially. But that following fall, I did go back to school took a big load of college courses, focused on getting my degree, found work at a nearby McDonald's where I quickly became the assistant manager, and I really liked that job. I guess it was fate that I became a teacher, even though I never got any bites from all the resumes I sent out to the schools after graduation. So I was preparing to move into the corporate side of things at McDonald's when, in mid-September of 1976, my teacher wife told me that Federal Hocking, a nearby school district, desperately needed a substitute teacher for first grade. It seems that the teacher had a serious medical situation, was going to be out for a good long time, and the substitute that was already there needed to get back to her graduate classes. That teacher, some weeks later, retired with a disability, so I ended up being hired full-time with a class of 33 little first graders jammed into a tiny little room where half my girls were named Missy in a little town named Coolville. And I took my buddy Rob there once while on one of our motorcycle rides and pointed out the classroom where my teaching career began. That building still being used today. Now, after 4 years at Federal Hocking, I found myself at Zane Trace near Chillicothe, working with special education kids, grades 1 through 4, and working on my special ed certification at the same time. I really liked that job too. But in the winter of 1982, there was a big change in my marital status. And my family and friends up here took advantage of my new single status and lobbied hard for me to come back home. So in the summer of 1982, I walked out of Charlie Cooper's office as the new 7th grade teacher here at Triad. Now, Dan Johnson and Dick Smith, they also asked me into helping them coach varsity football, even though I'd never played a down in high school, because I was a track and cross-country runner. I also ended up with the middle school track job that spring. Now, in all my 35 years of teaching, I was never so blindsided with a teaching assignment as I was with those 7th graders that year, affectionately known as 7B. My first 6 years with the little ones were easy peasy, but I soon found out those 7th graders were a whole different animal, and it seems that that class also had a bit of a reputation of being difficult. Yeah, I'm looking at you, J.D. House. I was not at all prepared to handle these students. In those first few months with my class, I felt I couldn't do anything right, felt like a complete failure. I just could not relate to them. There were a few times when walking my little lovelies down the lunch or PE, I thought I'd turn left as they turned right at the crossroads there in the elementary, walk straight out to my car and drive away. I eventually started to figure things out, and things got better for me with that group. And I have to give the class of 7B a lot of credit for helping me become a much better teacher, because of them, I developed a lot of mental toughness and grew a much thicker skin. And I learned how to show grace under fire when things got tough, and life got a lot easier for me from that point on. Some of those students from the class of 1988, like JD up there, may be in the stands today. And it's always nice to run into members of that class. And it just so happens, that class of 1988, my first grade class in Coolville was also the class of 1988. Now, my next 28 years here at Triad, I switched teaching positions several times when I felt I was getting a little stale, and I enjoyed all of them, I must admit. But my years in 3rd grade and my years in middle school special ed were my favorite. Jill Brown and Barb McDaniel were my 3rd grade teaching buddies, and they spoiled me rotten. They did a lot of little things to make my life easier for me, like cover some of the recesses and run off papers on the old ditto machine. One of my very favorite things to do with my third graders was to read aloud to them. And one of my very favorite books that I highly recommend everyone read was Sideways Stories from Wayside School by Louis Sachar. This is a very funny book, and my kids loved it. My wife, Becky, would come out from time to time to help me with some class project, and she just happened to be in my classroom when I started reading from that book. Well, my kids would turn around in their seats to watch my wife laughing hysterically at the stories. She made me bring that book home and read it to her. She said it just wasn't the same if she read it herself. Because of the growing gap with the time and the split bus schedule we had, I needed to move to the middle school and take the special ed job that opened up to continue coaching. And as sad as I was to leave Barb and Jill, I lucked out and ended my last 11 years of teaching with another great teaching assignment. Cindy Alltop was my aide for many of those 11 years, and she was awesome. The kids and I had the privilege to teach. They were so much fun to be with, and we had a great time together. I had a refrigerator, microwave, a big coffee maker, a drawer full of various candies that resembled a miniature Huffman's gas station in my cozy little room, and my teaching buddies would often stop by to help themselves to some chocolate or extra strong coffee. We'd visit, and life was good. Now, back in 1986, I earned my master's degree in curriculum and supervision, thinking that being a principal or a supervisor might be something I want to do at some point. That day never came for me. Even though opportunities came and went, they presented themselves, but I came to realize that I'd found my dream job. Even after I retired in 2011, I just couldn't stay away, so I became a substitute teacher, custodian, and secretary, and have enjoyed every minute of it. And I get to hang out with all my teaching and staff buddies, and I get to hang out with really great kids like these guys. So to wrap things up here, it's with all my heart that all of you graduates find that dream job. Work hard. Take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Take time to travel. Love your family. Have fun with your friends. Just enjoy life. You only go around once in this world, so make the most of it. And congratulations to Mr. Music. You are going down a new road too, so congratulations, buddy. And all you graduates of 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. All right, class of 2023, you made it. I am personally blessed and fortunate to have played a role, albeit a small one, in your educational journey at Triad. As I have gotten to know you and the story of your journey, I must say that I am in awe of each and every one of you. As I stated earlier, you are Triad's 68th graduating class. It is safe to say that no other class before you has dealt with as much adversity. You have dealt with the loss of classmates, changes in leadership, and a global pandemic that shut down the world and altered many parts of your high school experience. To know that you weathered all these storms and stand here before us today ready to graduate is no small feat. I often tell students that school and all the things that come with it, from different teachers and subjects to extracurricular activities, are really just a microcosm of life and all the challenges that you will face. I believe the iconic character Rocky Balboa said it best when he said, "You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward, that's how winning is done." With all you have endured as a graduating class, these words could not be truer. Please remember, as you face obstacles and hardships in life, you are not alone. You have an entire Cardinal community supporting you that has watched you mature from an uncertain kindergartner to an awkward middle schooler and now to a Triad local schools graduate. This place and these people here will always be your home. As you go out into the world and chart the path that you will take building your family, your life, and your career, remember to never forget who you are and where you came from, because I promise you it will always help you get where you're going and where you always need to be. Please also remember that each day is a gift, and every day on this earth is an opportunity to make the world a better place and to make someone smile. Remember, in life you get what you give, and to quote Tim McGraw, always be humble and kind. So seniors, for the last time, I want to say what I say every morning on the announcements. We love each and every one of you. We are so glad you are here with us today. Love you. All right, so at this time, I would like to ask Superintendent Ms. Vicki Hoffman and Board President Mr. Chris Millice to come forward to present the graduates with their diplomas. Audience, feel free to give each graduate their own well-deserved round of applause. It took them 13 years to get here, and they have certainly earned it. As the principal of Triad High School, I hereby certify that each member of Triad's class of 2023 has met or surpassed all of the requirements duly set forth by the Triad Board of Education. They have met the criteria for one of the pathways to graduation and completed all of the requirements established by the Ohio Board of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the Triad High School class of 2023. Cameron Nicole Allison. Rodney Blade Avery. Devin O'Brien Bradley. McKaylee Hope Brodigan. Kamora Jean Burden. Andrew Leon Combs. Jackson Graham Cordell. Madison Joanne Cox. Aiden Jeremy Kraft. Damon Alexander Davidson. Everett James Dorn. Bryce Paul Downey. Annika Eleanor Medina Driscoll. Ashton Lee Faber. Cadence Brianne Fiesel. Caitlin Nicole Fellhofer. Thomas James Ford. Mikhail Ari Gaston. Nicholas George Gehring II. Joseph Scott Graham. Tyler Dylan Gross. Theron Roy Hammond. Christopher Hayden Chase Hecker. Christian. Sorry about that, Chase. Rayanna Lynn Heron. Camden Bradley Hess. Caleb Ryan Hostetler. John Darrell House. Drew Alec Einstein. Cadence Ann Jackson. Lillian Carol James. Reed Bradley Lytle. Jacob Emerson Lowe. Christopher William David McConaughey. Kennedy Jade McCoy. Abigail Blanche McCreary. Callie Elizabeth McDaniel. Megan Eileen McManaway. Tyler Chase Miller. Electra Rose Monroe. Angelica Lynn Penorwood. Tyler Matthew Perry. Chance Edward Porter. Cole David Porter. Kylie Anna Reynolds. Aaron Wade Michael Rivers. Mara Jade Rogan. Brennan Jesse Rogers. Kaylee Marie Siegel. Autumn Renee Shuey. Adeline Nicole Riley Smith. Alexander Lee Spain. Xavier Lee Spain. Mason J. Alexander Tarleton. Matthias Jacob Austin Tarleton. Logan Marie Thomas. Ty James Thomas. Gage Mathis Tomlin. Mackenzie Lynn Trapp. Trista Marie Truitt. Kyle Eugene Walborn. Michael Robert Warner. Cameron Marie Welty. Amanda K. Wynn. Heather Renee Wynn. And Evan Jacob Ziegler. All right, congratulations to the class of 2023. At this time, your class president, Cadence Fiesel, will provide final remarks and lead the class in the turning of the tassels.
I'm really nervous. Please don't make fun of me if I mess up. Okay. First, I want to say thank you for everyone and coming out to help celebrate the class of 2023, aka the best class. Our high school time has felt like long days that consisted of us saying we wish we could just graduate already, but then those long days turned into 4 short years. And now that they've ended, we want more time. But here we are, excited, nervous, or even maybe unsure about the future. No matter how you may feel or what you'll be doing after graduating, take in all the good moments and trust me, you'll be fine. We have been through 13 years of stress, smiles, drama, friendships, and most of all, such amazing memories. Many of which I wish I could have lived in, oh my God, lived in longer or appreciated just a little bit more. So, as we're about to turn the tassels, go into something different, and wave goodbye to the end of a beginning, take the time to stop and make sure you're taking in this moment that will soon turn into an amazing memory. I wouldn't want to share it with any other group of people. Thank you.
Congratulations, class of 2023. Give them one more round of applause. Thank you for your attendance today as we collectively celebrate the class of 2023. Graduates, for the final time, you're dismissed. Thanks, everybody.